Alright, Shalom. I'd like to start off saying Ka Halayim La Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai Ba'Shem Harakak Wadash Ma'abak. Double honors to the elder apostles, the great millstone of my elder Herwan as well. Salutations to the Akim that are pushing the truth, the sincerity and truth. And peace and blessings to the men, women, and children that believe in the name of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Alright, I'm Khalaf Sa'amba Yashar from the Lions and the Yashar camp. And this is going to be, another Lionsden news and prophecy, and a pretty good one too. It's an article based upon the article I found. And the article title says, "Map shows nuclear powers around the world." So it kind of gives a little, uh, outlook on uh, what countries have nuclear weapons and how many. I think the count is off. I know the count is off on how many, but you know, because the count that's going to be hit on this place are 200 million warheads, not missiles, but warheads. There's multiple warheads in each, missile. But um, yeah, man. Um, we're getting closer and closer and closer to that time. You know, see prophecies unfolding quite frequently as we speak, and you know, it's all to the glory of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai and the salvation of Israel, man. It's a beautiful thing. Lord willing, let's edify and serve His purpose for the hope of elect, the ones that truly believe in the name of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. All right. So it says the Carnegie Endowment for International Peace think tank this week wrote that the prospect for negotiating formal arms control treaties appear dim as the world's foremost nuclear powers slide into a new era of competition and indirect conflict. Right. So there's no, like, just like how they try to do peace talks with Iran to try to stop them from enriching their uranium, to stop them from developing nuclear weapons. And I recently saw an article, I didn't read it yet, but I want to get into it, about Iran's plot to allegedly assassinate Donald Trump. Because remember when Trump was in office, he put hell on Iran. And the treaty that Obama, was it Obama that had lifted to where I think it was some on the lines where Iran could enrich their nuclear capabilities a little bit, to a certain percentage. And I think Trump, when he came in office, he did away with that and hit him with a whole bunch of sanctions and put hell on Iran. So they really don't want him in the office. So there was supposed to be an alleged attempt to assassinate Trump. Not saying the guy that did it was working for Iran, but I just got to read the article, so I'm not going to go into much to it because I don't really know exactly what's going on with it. But um, yeah, man. So you know, the Lord is opening up His armory to bring forth His weapons of His indignation, man. You know. So let's read on further. It says there are believed to be some 12,000 nuclear warheads spread between the world's 9 nuclear-armed nations, more than 10,000 of which sit in America and in Russia's arsenal. The America and Russia are the two uh, major stockpilers of nuclear weapons. Um, so I don't think that 12,000 is an accurate number, because given the fact that we're so close to them being set off, and the scripture says 200,000, which is 200 million missiles are going to hit this place. 200 million warheads. I mean, there's going to be other missiles like intercontinental ballistic missiles that's going to hit this place, um, and set shit off. Yeah, it's going down, man. All right. It says the two adversaries are by far the best armed states in terms of nuclear weapons, with China, France, the UK, and India, and Pakistan all owning hundreds of their own. Right. So the ones that they really are trying to stop from owning them is North Korea and Iran. All right. So you have Russia's first, United States second, and China in third on on the amount of nuclear weapons that they have in their arsenal. Mind you, out of the top three, two of them are allies, and one is a common enemy or a common threat to the two allies, which is Russia and China being the ally, and their common threat is America and on NATO. Because you can put NATO in there because if the United States got them, NATO got them. Because like it's kind of like both of ours. You know, little inside joke. But so whatever NATO has, America has. Whatever America has, NATO has. All right, and it says Israel and North Korea, with an estimated number of 90 and 50 warheads, respectively, are the final two members of the nuclear club, with Pyongyang, the youngest, having detonated its first atomic weapon in 2006. And he made a speech. Um, Xi Jinping made a speech about a year or so ago talking about the irony of America introducing the world to nuclear war, and that's what's going to be that takes America out. The irony in that, it says deteriorating global security situations has pegged led long held concerns over the lack of progress on arms control measures. The threat of nuclear escalation has hung over Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine since it began in 2022 February. Right, because ultimately we know that's what it's going to lead to, and that's Yahweh Shimei Shai bringing this along. It says, with that operation coming after years of deteriorating relations between Moscow and its Western rivals, the war has prompted closer cooperation between Russia and China. Right, the two ones I said out of the top three nuclear weapons holders being the allies. It says, as well as with the rogue state of North Korea and nuclear aspirant Iran. Right, because Iran's trying to get in the mix also. Persia's trying to get in the mix. It says, NATO leaders, including President Joe Biden, have been clear in their concerns over a direct clash between nuclear powers and vowed not to involve allied troops directly in the conflict for fear of nuclear escalation. Fellow NATO leaders in France, Germany, and the UK, right? So France and Germany all was Germany one of the ones I was named? I know France and the UK. Okay, well, France with 290 and UK with 225, and they're a part of NATO, and so that's just extra equipment for America. It said NATO leaders, including President Joe Biden, have been clear in their concern over a direct clash between nuclear powers. It's inevitable, though. You can't. There's nothing about it. Nothing they can do about it. It's going to happen. So Yahweh Shimei Shai said so. It says, and vowed not to involve allied troops directly in the conflict for fear of nuclear escalation. But they're providing weapons, and Russia said if any of those weapons hit Russian soil that are being provided by these other nations, they are in direct conflict with the war in Ukraine. And they said there will be most likely a nuclear retaliation for any nation's involvement with this war. All right, it says the Kremlin has been less hesitant, with President Vladimir Putin and several of his allies repeatedly hinting at nuclear, whether strategic or tactical weapons used against Ukraine or its Western backers. All right, see? So in March, Putin warned that Russia was ready for a nuclear showdown. Listen, and what did that sound? That sounds like Yahweh Shimei Shai. He shall think to put an evil thought, and he shall go into the land of unwalled villages. That's why they got nuclear submarines off the coast of Florida over there in Cuba, chilling, waiting. It says, put yourselves in array around about her. All that, roughly paraphrasing, all that been the boat, shoot at her. We gonna get into all that. It says, But for all Moscow's nuclear saber rattling, Western intelligence and leaders have said there are no signs that Russia's nuclear posture has shifted. In February, and after in February, after the reports that Russia was developing a space-based nuclear weapon, Biden said. Biden said, first of all, it's no nuclear threat to people of America or anywhere else in the world with what Russia is doing at the moment. Yeah, whatever. He has no clue of what's really going on, and that's why I'm trying to find it again. I lost the article, but there's an article like Biden could be stepping down, not only from the presidential race, but from his presidency right now. He could be stepping down for before anything even happens, before the election happens. So he's already talked about stepping down from the presidential race. So who's going to step in his place? That bitch Camilla Harris, whatever her name is. What's she gonna do? She ain't gonna do nothing but lock Jake up. That's all her main focus gonna be. Lock the niggas. No, I can't say that. It's true. But anyway, I don't go on a rant. But it says so they're talking about building space-based nuclear weapons, and it's a movie that I want to watch. I think it was oh, it was produced by Michelle and Barack Obama. I think it said it's separate from the world or something like that. It talks about nuclear space programs, and it talks about life without what would be after like World War III goes off. Um, from their perspective, I don't know exactly what the plot of the movie is, but I heard bits and pieces when I was listening to the Breakfast Club, and I got to figure out what the name of the movie is. But it talks about the things that are going on, if I'm not mistaken, that as far as like what the world is leading to dealing with nuclear war, how everything is satellite based. If the satellites go out, they do an EMP. You can't do shit. Everything is on the grid. Like, but Russia, they have analogs. They still have that analog tube based technology from back from World War II, so they could still use sonar, um, which doesn't have to be on the grid. They were that stuff that was being used before the grid was fully functional and put in place. All right. It says it says he added number two, anything they're doing or they will do relates to satellites in space and damaging these satellites potentially. Three, there's no evidence they've made a decision to go forward with anything in space either. He don't know what's going on. He don't know what's going on. Man, listen. These nations are coming gunning for the United States, man, and it's being set up by Yahweh by Shimei Shai. All right, so let's go to some scriptures real quick. This is Jeremiah 51:1. It says, "Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, I will raise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me a destroying wind." All right, a destroying wind is the missiles, man. It says, and I will send unto Babylon fanners that shall fan her and shall empty her land. All right, all right. So those fanners are enemies. These nations, man. These nations are gonna rise up against Babylon, man, and scatter everything. Man, Babylon the Great is gonna be greatly destroyed. Verse 3. Oh, it says, and for in that day, no, beginning. Let me verse 2 over again. It says, "And I will send unto Babylon fanners that shall fan her and shall empty her land. For in that day of trouble they shall be against her round about." Right. So that's why it's gonna. The Lord is assembling assembly of nations against Babylon. You got China, um, because of the whole situation with Taiwan. You got Iran, You got North Korea, you got Russia, and also, believe it or not, India. All these nations are and eventually Turkey, according to Ezekiel 38. It says verse 4. No. Verse 3, it says, against him that bendeth, let the archer bend his bow. But against him that lifted himself up in his brigandine, and spare ye not. All right. So all that, like, who's the archer? They're talking about America. So against the one that wants to bring forth all these weapons, bend your bows against her. Shoot at her round about. So the Lord is, it's a nuclear arms race going on between these nations, and ultimately it's going to lead to the destruction of America. Thus saith Yahweh by Shem Yahushai. It says, against him that bendeth, let the archer bend his bow. Against him that lifted up his brigandine, all right, and spare ye not her young men, destroy ye utterly all her hosts. And the word host means armies, all right. It says, verse 4, it says, thus the slain shall fall in the land of the Chaldeans, and they that are thrust through in their streets. For Israel have not been forsaken, nor Judah of his power, of the Lord of hosts, Yahweh by Shem Yahushai, though their land was filled with sin against the Holy One of Israel. Flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. Right, we ain't supposed to be getting comfortable here. You know? It says, be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of the Lord's vengeance, and he will render unto her a recompense. So we want to be here when this happens. So we ain't supposed to be trying to get comfortable here. This is Micah 2:10. It says, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you, even with a sore destruction. So this place will tear your mind up, man. This place will literally have you gone, man. This is a spiritual black hole. This place. It'll suck you. It'll gaslight you and suck all the moral all the morals that you have, right, of righteousness. This place will suck it right out of you, because it puts you in adverse situations to where, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you kind of sometimes you could even lose your train of thought. That's why I said if it were even possible to even deceive the very elect. That's what this whole system does. That's what America does. Americanizes the whole world and creates a narrative to where Esau got these individuals thinking that they're the only way out, that we have to render unto them to do according to their will. But that's not the case. All right, it's all a deception and an illusion. Verse 7, it says, Babylon has been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. All right. So everybody's been getting drunk off the dollar and boasting with this place. You know? And they've been praising America, boasting on, sticking their chest out with America, being wicked right along with America. Like, this place will have you totally deceived. That it's like that's why she's decked in all kind of beautiful, like, you know how you go out to a club and a woman got all this makeup and stuff. You see it on TikTok where they be all ugly as fuck and they play in the video, then the music, and then they have the break in the song, then they flip the screen and now they beautiful as hell. That's how America is. But as soon as the bitch take off all that makeup, it's a wrap. And that's what the Lord is doing, taking off all the makeup off this place. That's why it said, come sit down in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. There's no more throne. The Lord is taking her off that seat, taking her off that pedestal, and putting her in the proper place that she should be, in the dust. In the dust. All right. It says, the nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Right. So they thinking, they boasting with America. You know, they And they foolish. They boastful and foolish, man. So they become foolish just like America, man. It says Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her take balm for her pain, if so she may be healed. But ain't no ointment that can save this place. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go everyone into our own country, for her judgment reaches unto heaven and is lifted up to the skies, man. All right. So let me do something real quick. All right. So ain't nobody gonna want to have any dealings with this place, man, anymore. Verse 10 it says, "The Lord has brought forth our righteousness. Come and let us declare in Zion the work of the Lord, Yahweh by Shem Shai." And that's what we declare. All right. We go out here on the highways and byways and prophesy the things that are to come, that are being spoken of Yahweh by Shem Shai. All right. Verse 11 it says, "Make bright the arrows, gather the shields." Right. That's why. That's exactly what this article was talking about. Because you're gonna you're gonna have more and more and more and more and more and more and more stockpiles of nuclear weapons and all types of stuff coming into the game, all right, to destroy this place. And ultimately, it's gonna these nations are gonna gather together and turn against Yahweh by Shem Shai, and they're gonna find out who the king of terrors is. All right, it says, "Make bright the arrows, gather the shields. The Lord have raised up the spirit of the kings of the Medes." And who is that? Russia. All right. "For his devices against Babylon to destroy it, because it is the vengeance of the Lord and the vengeance of his temple." All right. Let me get let me get Jeremiah 50. It says, all right, this is Jeremiah 59. It says, "For lo, I will cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence she shall be taken. Their arrows shall be as a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain." Man, so all these missiles gonna hit this place. All the missiles that these nations are stockpiling, they're gonna man, listen. The Lord got a judgment in this place. He says, "And Chaldea shall be a spoil. All that spoil her shall be satisfied, saith the Lord." Mm. So that's what's coming to this place, man. All right. It says, verse 11 says, "Be glad, because ye are glad, because ye rejoice, O ye destroyers of my inheritance, because ye are grown fat as a heifer at grass, and as the billows as bulls." So yeah, this place got rich off the blood, sweat, and tears of our forefathers, our ancestors, man, through slavery. And they around here just boasting about it. Got these other nations drunk, boasting with them, being foolish, thinking that ain't nothing finna happen. But the Lord got another thing coming. It says, verse 12 says, "Your mother shall be sore confounded. She that bare you shall be ashamed." Right, right. So Europe is gonna be ashamed of this place, man. Britain, whoever birthed America over there, you know, because that's where America came from. So eventually, these shall turn and hate the whore. The ones that help prop this nation up to become the nation. It's not even a nation. It's just it's a corporation, right? And the ones that set this corporation up are going to turn against this place. All right. It says, verse 13. It says, "Because of the wrath of the Lord, it shall not be inhabited, but it shall be wholly desolate. Everyone that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished and hiss at her plagues. Put yourselves in array against Babylon round about. All ye that bend the bow, shoot at her, spare no arrow, for she hath sinned against the Lord." All right. So now that's exactly what this article is talking about. So there's going to be so many more advancement of nuclear weapons, and it's all designed to destroy this place. Thus saith Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Our Lord willing, lesson to edify to serve his purpose without the likes of Kal Halayim La Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai, Bashem Harakak Wadash Ma'amath. Double honors to the elder apostle, the great millstone, my elder Herawan as well. Salutations to the argument that pushing the truth and sincerity and truth, and peace and blessing to the men, women, and children that believe in the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Shalom.